Vail.
Happy Thursday. It is January 4th. We are in the first Thursday of the 2024 year. Joining me today in studio is the incredible Kevin Shields. We've got quite an exciting show for you. Our very own owner, Steve Mumblow, shows us how to make a very special dish in the kitchen in this first hour. Plus, I had a conversation with the Elephant Learning Math app. So very interesting conversation. And it's National Spaghetti Day. Robbie Whittle with the sports. So hour one of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Good Morning Vail. As Kim pointed out, it is the first Thursday of 2024, and I believe it's going to be very good for us because in the forecast, we've got some much needed snow on the way. Let's take a look. This morning, 21 degrees when you get up, a 36-degree high today. 50% chance of snow showers coming in. So very excited about that. It looks like those snow showers are going to be coming in mid to early morning and continuing throughout the day, which is something we're really excited about. Although the snow conditions aren't bad up there. We'll look at those here in just a few minutes. Going across the I-70 corridor, 34 in Denver and partly cloudy, 36 in Vail, 35 in Avon, and 33 in Eagle. All those areas seeing that 30 to 50% chance of precipitation coming in. And like I said, much needed because we've been seeing some 0% or zero snowfall on the mountain. Tonight, low is 14 degrees, snow 60% chance. Those snow showers continuing, like we said, early throughout the morning and then throughout the day. The light winds tonight, light and variable, and that sun setting at 4:55. So the day is getting just a touch longer to enjoy some of the things that are going out. Well, here's the forecast for the 5 days. Friday shows some more snow showers coming in, 70% chance of precipitation. Saturday, 50% chance. Those temperatures are going to be mild in those mid to high 20s, which is perfect for the snowfall. But then again, those lows are in those single digits coming in, which makes it, again, a great temperature for snowmaking. So we're going to increase the amount of snowfall out there on the mountain and hopefully get some of that fresh powder falling from the sky. Nothing really reported in Beaver Creek in the last 48 hours. 80-inch season total, 35-inch base. Skiing is pretty good out there in Beaver Creek. Was out there a couple times last week. They've got 24 lifts spinning, 117 trails open, and have boosted up to 52% of the terrain. So a lot of good skiing over there in Beaver Creek. Over in Vail, kind of the same story as far as snowfall, but they do have a 101-inch total for the year, 37-inch base. And then going over 29 lifts spinning, 239 trails open, significant number of trails open over there in Vail, and that brings them up to 85% of the terrain open in Vail. So a lot of good skiing out there.
A lot of great skiing out there.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to believe that we're only, 10 minutes down the road between Vail and Beaver Creek,
Yeah.
but there's a difference in the snowfall and the amount of terrain that's open.
Yeah, I think over in Vail, one thing that really helps, they installed a few years ago a very robust snowmaking, increase the acreage. So they're able to kind of get out and get ahead of the game. Whereas Beaver Creek's got some good snowmaking, but then you kind of look at that western part of the mountain there and a lot of good downhill stuff. As a matter of fact, that's where they do the Birds of Prey Championship. So it's hard to get the snowmaking over there and get the groomers up and down, but there's still, I was up there with my son. Great skiing.
It just shows like how unique the terrain is, no matter
Right.
where you are. You know, nothing is the same.
Yep.
That's what makes the mountains so beautiful here. But it's been a great week, Kevin. How about you? How's your first week back in 2024
It's great.
been?
I missed you. You were gone for a while.
I was gone for a few days, so
No, 2024 I think is going to be a fantastic year. It started off great. A lot of the Valley's been busy. A lot of guests from all around the world here, kind of spending time with their friends and family and enjoying the playground, the winter playground that we have in our backyard. So it's good to see a lot of people out having fun.
It is. And you know, driving in this morning, I saw parking lots that are usually very empty. We're very full today. So
Yeah.
we have visitors in town. We are in full swing, which means we have a lot to talk about on the show.
Yes,
So
we
very
sure do.
excited about that. But today is National Spaghetti Day. So excited to see what we have in store
See
with
what
that one.
Steve kind of comes up with. I always like it when he gets behind the camera.
You know, we wear many hats here at TV8, and Steve, our owner, is one of those as well. So we've got a lot going on here. So grab that coffee, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Experience the magic of the season like never before with the Leadville Railroad on our Holiday Express. Gather the family for an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. We'll see you next time. Hi friends, welcome to a little behind the scenes. I'm Avisha Scarborough, and I'm so excited to be part of the team at TV8 in Vail. I love the outdoor lifestyle here, I love the arts and culture, and I love being part of this community. My show is called Vail Vibes with Avisha, where I tell you about all the amazing activities going on here in Vail and surrounding areas all year round.
Good morning, Vail.
So the holidays are over, and that means your kids are back in school, but they may struggle with math a bit. I had a conversation with the innovator and founder of the Elephant Learning Mathematics application. Let's take a look. Now, welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am honored to be joined here on the couch because this is a very, very important topic. And with the rise of the COVID pandemic and before, kids are falling behind in their education, specifically in math, because they don't understand why they need to use it. And joining me today is Dr. Aditya Nagrath, who is the founder of Elephant Learning. How are you?
Hi, great. Thank you for having me.
So I mentioned, with the COVID pandemic, it's really, I think, heightened and highlighted education, and specifically around mathematics. And you are such an impressive person. And so how did you decide to come up with Elephant Learning?
Yeah, well, so we came up with Elephant Learning because we had done some research and we had found out that 4 out of 5 students start kindergarten unprepared for the kindergarten curriculum. And this happens completely along income lines. And the reason why is because the top 20% earners are able to send their children to preschool. And in preschool, they ensure that they meet the standard for counting to 10. But ultimately, that's what we learned, is that students were coming in and they didn't really understand counting to 10. And that was because that there's this gap between what the parent thinks counting to 10 is and what the standards say counting to 10 is.
And, starting at such a young age and not being comfortable with that, it creates anxiety. So talk to me about mathematic anxiety and how it is a very much real thing.
Yeah, so like the stem of the mathematics anxiety is this idea of understanding that language of mathematics. So we focus on teaching the mathematics of language, or sorry, the language of mathematics. And so like when you don't understand the teacher and you're trying to just get through and get to the next level, whatever that is, anxiety starts to form because it looks like everyone around you understands this and you're supposed to know it, but like there's like this imposter syndrome starting to form. And it's kind of maybe the basis of where it all comes from.
Yeah, you don't want to let your teacher down, and then on top of that, you want to seem like you're keeping up with everybody in the classroom. So then that anxiety just starts to compound as you get older and you learn more and you move through the school system and the curriculum. Now, Elephant Learning, very impressive. So you have a background in computer programming. You learned the C++ language at the age of 14.
Yeah.
So naturally, you moved into this application development process. So what inspired it? How did you create Elephant Learning? Tell me all about it.
Sure. What we inherited was a program that was funded by the National Science Foundation and partly by the Toyota Foundation. And it had activities for 4 and 5-year-olds. These activities help demonstrate the concepts to the students. So like think about it like teaching the colors. You have to show a student red things, and then they have to infer that red refers to the color. So you show them a red truck, a red ball, a red whatever, and you're labeling it red truck, red ball, etc. So they learn that red refers to the color. In the same way like we teach the quantities, it's same thing that parents would do. How many fingers am I holding up? Or can you give me 6 things? And then from there, we teach them the operations. And again, they have to kind of live with it. So like, give me 5 things, give me 4 more things. How many do I have now? It's the idea of 5 plus 4. So through these activities, they actually learn the language of mathematics, and then they understand the teacher better in the classroom because they have a experience or a reference point to think back to when they look at the written mathematics.
And so, oftentimes with math, you're just doing it, you're executing it, and that's it. You don't think about the why or whatnot. And so through your program, you're able to kind of appreciate and initiate that conversation as well.
Yeah, so like the real thing that they're getting out of it is this ability to see, when do I use these operations to solve problems? And that's what's most important, because if you've memorized your multiplication tables, but you can't use multiplication to solve a real life problem or a word problem, then multiplication's absolutely useless to you. Even if you're memorizing a mnemonic, right? In real life, when the multiplication problem shows up, you don't have a mnemonic.
Yeah.
So really, we make math useful for the student.
Yeah, so speaking of students, how many students have worked through your program? You've been in business 7 years, so very impressive. Tell me all about it.
So over the last 7 years, we've had over 150,000 students go through our system. We ran a research study on 56,000 students, and what we found was that on average, they learned 1.67 years of math over the course of 13 weeks. They used it just under 40 minutes per week. Our initial study had them learning about 1.5 years of math over the course of 10 weeks, using it just under 30 minutes per week. So those numbers, they basically line up. So we're reproducing the experiment over and over again.
And that's great. And so you mentioned a year and a half of math, so that just boosts them a year and a half up into the grade level that they should be, or maybe above if they're doing really well.
Right. Well, we focus on the essential topics. And yeah, when you teach it as a language, they're able to pick it up a little bit faster. They might not be able to execute the operations with fluency is what they call it, like speed, right? But they're able to execute it. So that's, in modern society, that's like better because you can always pull out a calculator and you could always execute it if you could figure out which are the operations that you need to run. But then ultimately, yeah, again, we actually make the math useful to the student because they're able to use it.
So, Dr. Aditya, tell me about the rise of smartphones. You know, people are relying on their smartphones for any kind of answers. So, mathematic calculations specifically. I love the idea that you have an app and you're able to teach people. So, what are you seeing from a kid's perspective? You know, how many kids, like, what's the average age? Do you feel like they're learning a little bit better? Tell me more.
Right, so we cover from counting through algebra, and we've had students of almost all ages because, like, if you're struggling with upper level mathematics, typically there's a misconception in algebra or earlier. The average age might be 7 or 8 years old, but that's because the range is wide. And I think that, like, the most amazing thing is that we have students that come in, they don't like mathematics, they don't like math in the classroom. And then they use our system, and then after being able to understand what's happening in the classroom, now mathematics is engaging to them because they're able to participate in the classroom. The games themselves, again, there are activities that, like, are demonstrating the concepts, like give me 5 things, give me 4 more things, how many do I have now? Or, you know, like for multiplication, we have rows or groups of items. So, like, each group has 7, and you can see there's 4 groups. How many things do we have? And there's curtains that ensure that, like, they just can't count them up.
Oh, good.
So, like,
Good.
what we do then is that, like, these activities, they're not really hiding the math, but they feel like a puzzle game to the student, and a lot of students start to engage with it.
And it really just increases their confidence in the classroom. I love that.
Yeah, and it builds problem-solving skills, and then also it builds intuition into this idea of induction. So, like, that's the idea that what's true on smaller numbers is also true on larger numbers. So that's what we do is we go through the operations and we kind of start with small numbers and we may move them up so that they see it working through small to larger numbers.
Great. So talk to me about parent involvement in elephant learning. You know, where can they go for more information? How do they get involved in making sure that their kids are really learning and utilizing your tools?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, like, for the parent, we have these dashboards, and the dashboards tell the parent what the student's working on, where there might be struggles, so if they needed to focus, they could. And also, like, what activities you could be doing outside of the system to reinforce those same ideas. Like, when we determine that they're ready for fluency with addition or multiplication, we might give you card games to play so that you're multiplying and you're building that speed and that memorization. But after they've understood it, so they understand why they're doing it. But basically, to get started, they could just go to elephantlearning.com. You put in your email address, and that's the way to get started. From there, you can download an app onto the tablet of the student. But yeah, everything's available basically through website and through app.
Awesome. Now, I think it's so important, and it's a great way to bond with your child, too. So I love that you have a parent side of it that can really make sure that things are happening.
We have coaching videos that show, like, how could you work with the student. We typically recommend the Y method. And we give this out for free, so I've said this on podcasts before, but basically what it is you let the student answer incorrectly, and then you ask them, why do you think that's the right answer? So it's kind of like asking them to show their work. But, like, for kind of the younger students, the why is around the language. So when the student tells you why, you're going to be able to see what is it that they don't understand and what is the language you need to clarify, or if you just need to give them a hint so that they get that aha moment.
I love that. So talk to me about the results. What results
Sure.
are you seeing?
Yeah, well, on average, again, students are learning years of mathematics over the course of several months, using it just 10 minutes a day, 10 to 20 minutes a day. And I mean, they go into the classroom, they feel more confident, they start to say that I actually do enjoy math class, they start to see the usefulness of math in everyday life, they start talking about it with their parents. So, like, yeah.
It's just a great, so 1.5 years, they can increase it in about 12 to 13 weeks.
Yeah.
their knowledge base. It's great.
Yeah,
Really.
again, we focus on the essential topics as a language. The goal was, can I get them to understand the teacher in the classroom so that we could fill that gap? Because what we did see was that over time, the education system in America works for those top 20% income earners. And this makes sense because if you came into the education system able to understand the teacher, then the education system is effective.
Yeah.
So then the question is how can we make it effective for everyone?
Yeah, how can you provide supplemental income that's, or not income, but supplemental education that's fun?
Right.
Absolutely.
Supplemental education that
Yeah.
could then make it so that when they participate in the classroom, it's useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Now, tell us where we can go for more information and find out any other details that we need to know.
Sure. Everything's on our website, elephantlearning.com. If you find us on Facebook, you can DM us. I think Instagram also works. But yeah, like just contact us, email us at support@elephantlearning.com. We're happy to answer any questions, but almost everything's on our website.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Aditya, thank you so much for coming on the show. I love your passion and your knowledge. It's so impressive to see the research that you put into this and just the passion you have to help elevate education and the school system. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, stay tuned. We have a lot more here on this next episode, so we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on The Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss The Tech Show. Tech your local listings. Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Bleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
Today, we're cooking on the theme of how to cook without really cooking.
That's my favorite kind of cooking.
Yes.
I'll admit. Yes.
Because as Steve would understand, or many people that have houses here in the Park City area, and their college kids come home, they show up with friends. And what do you do with them? They bring the refreshments, but they still want to be fed. So this episode is about how to feed people 10 or more for under $30 and make sure that they're satisfied.
I love
And
it.
Steve, everyone always knows, what do you have to do?
You got to have the 5 Ps.
The 5 Ps. So we're making our spaghetti, not from scratch, because I've had friends send me 3 pages of how to make spaghetti sauce. Wonderful, but this is not what we're going to do.
We're not. We're scratching that. That's
We
out the
are
window.
going with the 5 Ps.
5 Ps. Okay. I'm
Prego,
curious. Prego.
puree,
Puree.
paste,
Paste. That's 3. 2 more. We're in
Parmesan,
suspense. Parmesan.
and last but not least, pasta.
I love it. The 5 Ps. All right.
So Steve's new at cooking, so
Are
I
you?
have taken it upon myself to run the can opener, and he will be doing the actual blending. Now, what's great about this, when you first show up in Park City and you haven't been here quite a month, you probably only have 2 pots and 1 pan. So we have to do everything with 2 pots and 1 pan. So you want to get
More
going,
of a challenge.
Steve?
You ready? Okay,
We're
I'm
off
gonna
to
move out
the
of your way.
races.
You
So
scoot
the
in
first
there.
ingredient in our spaghetti sauce is Prego. There you go, Master Chef.
So is it Prego because it's a pea, or do you have an affinity, a natural liking to Prego?
You could use anything that's out there, and it's pretty cool. There's our first pea.
Perfect. Perfect.
Now, I'm going to shake it up here a little bit because instead of puree, I'd rather have crushed tomatoes in basil. This is a lot better than puree. So I'm going to open this can up here.
We are back in the kitchen cooking spaghetti with Steve. And who would have thought all those years ago when you met Steve's dad that one day you'd be cooking with his son in Park City, Utah on TV?
That's right, and having can opener stress.
Yes. All right, it worked out, but maybe always make sure you have 2 can openers.
Exactly. So we started off on our 5 Ps by putting in a jar of Prego. Now we're going to the second P, which would have been puree, but we're going to use crushed tomatoes. And Steve, have at it.
Second P.
So those crushed tomatoes add that texture, kind of those spices,
Yeah.
make it a little chunkier.
And now we're going to put the paste in.
For our third P is the paste.
All right. See, Steve, I think you're going to become a chef. No more.
You gotta
peas
start
today.
somewhere, right?
You do. You do.
Now the paste is great because it will thicken up your sauce and it allows you to do a variety of other things like what you add to your sauce, be it vegetables or meat or even a little bit of red wine later on. So we've got the base of our sauce done. Now we're going to go to adding to it to make it a little oomph to get it going. So we've chopped some onions, and Steve, you're going to throw the onions into the pan. Let them start to dump the whole thing in there.
Just don't be shy.
Yeah. Let them start sauteing. And you start off with your onions because they require the most cooking. And we'll let them cook here, and they're starting off. To this mixture, we're going to be adding mushrooms, which gives it a nice earthy flavor. And folks seem to always like that. And then, after we get our onions sauteed up, which we already have some example here, so we'll just put them into the sauce.
The magic of TV. We have some pre-sauteed
Yeah.
onions going in right now. Smells delicious. It's looking
does smell
good.
Now with your onions cooking there, we only have one pan. We want to saute the onions there, and then we have our chopped mushrooms. And the mushrooms can go in once the onions are like a golden brown, and they're starting to sizzle now.
Oh yeah.
When they're golden brown, mushrooms have a lot of water in them. So when you add them in there for the flavor, leave them uncovered so that the moisture in the mushrooms can evaporate, just leaving the flavor behind. So Steve, why don't you do that now?
Mixing together quite nicely.
Yeah, it's smelling real good in here.
What was the last meal you had, Steve? What'd you have last night for dinner?
I had some ribs last night.
I thought you only made PB&J. Come on, you're holding out on us.
I didn't cook them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair
They
enough.
were good though.
So that's sauce our way. And we already have some pre-cooked mushrooms here. You'll add those into the sauce there, Steve.
Here we go.
I think we need a visual of the sauce. Let's maybe tip it up and see how good that looks. All those different textures and flavors. Will be delicious spaghetti. A little bit of oomph. All right, you want to keep mixing that?
Let's do it.
Now, for informational purposes, all the steps that we have taken so far, including the Parmesan cheese, cost $17.86.
That's a deal.
It's
And
a
you
real
said
good
10
deal.
people. This is
You can feed 10 people with this, yes.
This is great when my son brings all his teenage friends over. I know what I'm making next time.
Yeah. And so the onions are getting a little more cooked here, and I like a lot more vegetables in my sauce. And so they're getting almost done. And Steve, you can put those in there too.
All right.
Yeah.
Add it all in there.
Yeah.
So do you cook a lot, Steve, when you're at home?
Not really, because it's just Patty and myself.
Okay.
And cooking for 2 people is difficult because you get a lot of waste.
That's true.
A lot of
That's
leftovers.
true.
A lot of leftovers. So if you stir that up, Steve, now we're to the part where what kind of meat products do you want in? You could put in sausage, or we can put in hamburger.
All right.
And that's what we're going to do right now, is put in our hamburger using the same pan that we did before. It's nice and hot. And Steve, why don't you open that and throw that in and
while-
start sizzling that way. And we'll start to get the water boiling here
And while that
for the
all
pasta.
happens
I'll
and
turn
cooks,
that on.
Looks good. We are
Yeah.
going to head to break while we cook this hamburger and boil this water, but you don't want to miss the final product. It's going to be really, really good. So spaghetti with Steve and
Throw it in.
Steve. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tva8vail.com y nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof, and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com, because there's always more for you on 92.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tva8vail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Experience the magic an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Let's take a look at that local weather. Getting up today, 21 degrees at 8 a.m., a high today of 36 degrees. The exciting thing is that 50% chance of snowfall that's going to be coming down today. So something much needed and much anticipated. As we look at Vail by the hour, that snowfall is going to start later on in the morning and then continue throughout the day. So those temperatures are going to remain somewhat mild throughout the day, but we're going to get some snowfall coming down across the I-70 corridor. We're going to see cloudy, 34 degrees. They've got a slight chance of precipitation there as well. 36 in Vail, 35 in Avon, and 33 in Eagle. And we see that between 30 and 50% chance of precipitation, which is going to bring in that much needed and anticipated snowfall. Tonight, a low of 14 degrees, snow continuing, 60% chance. That sun setting at 4:55 p.m. And the winds are going to be light and variable, so not a lot to worry about as far as blowing and drifting if you're driving up over the pass, but still be careful as that snow falls. Looking at the 5-day, this is something very exciting. Friday, 70% chance of precipitation, 27 degrees. Looking at Saturday and Sunday, kind of those mid-20s. Look at those lows, though. If you're going to go out in the evening, make sure you bundle up, but we're going to see some of that snow continuing throughout the weekend. Looking at Monday, 21 degrees, Tuesday, 26 degrees, and that chance of snow continuing throughout those days. So something that we're very much excited about. So make sure you get out there and enjoy that snow report. Nothing reported in the last 48 hours. Looking at the season total in Beaver Creek, 80-inch total for the season, 35-inch base. So a nice little base out there, and hopefully this will add to it. 26 lifts are spinning, 121 trails are open. That is 54% of the terrain over there in Beaver Creek. Now heading over to Vail, kind of the similar thing there. No snowfall reported in the last 48 hours, 101-inch season total, 37-inch base, so a nice solid base over there in Vail Mountain with 27 lifts spinning, 239 of those trails open. That is 85% of the terrain open in Vail. So a lot of great skiing. Get out there and enjoy that. Temperatures are going to be mild, and again, that snowfall is continuing to roll throughout the weekend. So get out there and enjoy.
We are back in the kitchen where President of Deerfield Media, Steve Mumbo, is teaching intern Steve how to make spaghetti for a crowd on a budget.
Yeah.
And through the magic or miracle of a commercial break, we have cooked ground beef and much more. What's next?
Well, we made our spaghetti sauce, and we put in a store-bought spaghetti sauce, Prego in this instance. You can use whatever you like. Then you put in a can of puree and a can of paste, which is what we've done. You add a little chopped onions and some mushrooms to give it a good hearty flavor. Why do you start with the store-bought spaghetti sauce? It has all the spices in it. You don't have to buy spices. It's got the oregano, the basil, and everything else. And that is your most expensive items to buy, is spices.
Yeah.
Although we do have a little Italian spice, which Steve will use at the end and flavor to his liking. All right. So we've made our base spaghetti sauce, and as you see, it takes 10 minutes. Now we've browned our ground beef using the same pan that we cooked our onions and mushrooms in. So we're cutting down on what we have to wash. And so Steve, dump it in there now.
All right.
And what we have in our kitchen. Do you have any of these pots, pans in your kitchen right now, Steve, here in Park City?
I do.
You do?
Well,
Okay, good.
whether I will use them is a whole nother question.
Well, you will now. Now that you know how to make spaghetti, especially Steve's version, I think you'll be inspired, right?
Of course. It smells real good.
Yeah.
It does smell good.
So our spaghetti sauce is done. And a good thing with the sauce, you can make this in the morning. And you can go out skiing. And when you come back skiing, in addition to having your friends drop by, but if you're just here on vacation, after skiing, you go to the hot tub and you enjoy the down day, who wants to cook?
No one.
It's already done.
It's done.
All you really have to cook is your pasta. And have al dente pasta, it takes 7 minutes. And so our water's beginning to boil here, and I'm going to throw in some of our pasta. We're just going to crack it in half here so that it all fits. And your meal is done in 7 minutes.
Done and done.
And you can feed people. Now, if some people say, well, we need a salad for this, you know, especially younger folks may not want the salad. But there's always leftover mushrooms.
There you go.
And we always save a pepper for them. So
So we can have a pepper mushroom salad.
that's right.
And throw in an onion.
The leftover. And we got a leftover onion. So it's completely done, the meal, and it's a great and easy way. Now, when we traditionally make this, we also make meatballs, but we're not doing that today.
That's, yeah. We're going to
Yeah.
start simple.
That's a whole nother segment.
But meatballs
Yeah.
are very
Next time.
easy. The secret is using a rye bread with caraway seeds in it.
Okay.
Just take it, cut the crust off, mix the ground beef with some of your onions and mushrooms and 1 or 2 eggs, and just make the meatballs, put them in the oven for 45 minutes, and they're done. But you really don't need that because there's so much meat product in the spaghetti sauce already. So now, 10 minutes, add another 10, 20 minutes, it's done.
Done.
Ready to go to the table.
And we're excited to try it.
And this guy likes it.
Well, good,
I'm a
good.
big
You like
fan.
spaghetti. All right, are we going to try it now? What do you think? What's the next step?
The next step is got to wait for our pasta to cook.
Okay, so while that cooks, we'll go to a quick break.
Okay.
And you'll want to come back to see the finished product and maybe enjoy some bread as well. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Spaghetti Show. We are here making spaghetti with Steve. And Steve, it's done.
It's done.
It looks
No problem.
beautiful and delicious.
Yeah. So this is what the master chef here has concocted in 20 minutes of time.
We just need to add one more P, the final P, Parmesan. And throw a little on top for the flavor.
Looks good.
Awesome.
And that's just for you, right? No
Oh,
one
yeah.
else. Now, if you want to add a little extra to your spaghetti meal, another inexpensive way of doing it is just go to the baker and get yourself a loaf of bread. And I'm going to move this pot out of the way here.
Any kind of bread, or do you recommend
Well,
a
you want
certain kind?
Italian bread.
Italian bread.
It's not so easy to find Italian bread in Park City. Most of it is sourdough bread or baguettes. This is a baguette. I'd rather have an Italian bread.
Okay.
But you take it and you just slice it diagonally without going through the bottom of the crust. And just slice it through this as such. Now, what you've done is just take a stick of butter, a quarter pound of butter, and then you take some blue cheese.
Ooh, blue cheese.
Just a container of blue cheese, and real easy chopped garlic. It's already chopped. You take it out of the tube, and you just squeeze it in. You could do this in the morning. It takes 3 minutes to do it. And what you're going to end up with is a little bit of batter. It's nothing more than butter, garlic, and blue cheese.
I wouldn't have thought to add blue cheese. I really like that.
Oh, the blue cheese is wonderful on it.
Yeah.
And now that you've cut your bread, as a way of an example here, you've got all these spaces in it. You fan it out. You just take your spoon and fill each of the sections with a little bit of the butter cheese. And you go all the way through.
My mouth
And
is
when
watering.
it's done,
It looks delicious.
you
doesn't
throw it into a toaster oven or an oven that you have
Whatever you have.
at 275 degrees, and you have a wonderful piece of blue cheese garlic bread to go with your spaghetti. Now, after eating that meal, you want to go back to the slopes and do a couple of night runs.
Or just
But
chill in the hot tub. And
It
just,
is.
You know.
But it's a quick, simple, easy meal. Add a salad if you want, and you've taken care of your guests.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Experience the magic of the season like never before with the Leadville Railroad on our Holiday Express. Gather the family for an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Well, here in the Valley, it doesn't matter the season. There's always something going on in the sports realm. Our very own Robbie Whittle is out in the community and checking in on what's going on. I think he's got some hockey to talk about today.
All right, well, welcome to your first edition of TV8 Sports here in the new year. Battle Mountain Hockey hosted Denver East on the ice Wednesday night, and we've got those highlights for you right now.
At 1-3 on the season, Battle Mountain High was looking for a needed win against visiting Denver East. The Angels of Denver East were on a 3-game win streak and were not going to make it easy on the Huskies. Denver East jumps out to a quick 3-0 lead on Battle Mountain. Huskies trying to move the puck down the ice, but it's intercepted. Peter Galambos finds himself front and center with the open shot. He shoots, and Denver East extends their lead to 4-0. Angels back with the puck and moving it around until the team captain, Jack Patterson, finds the open shot. He takes it and does not disappoint. Denver East jumps out to a 5-0 lead over Battle Mountain. Puck all alone sliding down the ice to the Denver East goal. Huskies can't get there quick enough, but it lands into the lap of Gannon Sharkey, who takes a shot and scores to get the Huskies their first goal of the game. But Denver East will continue to keep their foot on the gas. Zeke Giles drives through the Huskies' entire team right to the goal and punches it in to give Denver East the 6-1 lead. And that is your final score from this matchup. Denver East improves to 4-1-1 on the season, while Battle Mountain falls to 1-4 on the year. The Huskies' next game will come against Crested Butte in Eagle.
Well, the students are returning from holiday break, which means basketball will begin to pick up here in the Valley. Now, let's take a look at the current standings from our teams.
Starting off with Battle Mountain High boys basketball, the Huskies are having a tough season so far. They've only amounted 1 win on the season and have fallen 7 times this year. Their only win came against Regis Groff, and since that win in early December, Battle Mountain High boys basketball has fallen in 5 straight games. Their first game of the new year is at home against Grand Junction, where they'll look to start fresh. Tip-off will come Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, Battle Mountain High girls basketball is looking a little better than the boys team as they sit at 3-4 on the year. The Huskies went into holiday break on a 2-game win streak and will look to continue that momentum into the new year. Their first game in 2024 will come against Grand Junction on Saturday, and that tip-off is scheduled for 12:30 p.m. In Gypsum, Eagle Valley High boys basketball has started off their season much better than their rival Battle Mountain over in Edwards. The Devils are batting .500 on the year as they sit 4-4 on the season. However, they lost 2 of their most recent games before holiday break. Now, Eagle Valley girls basketball has played 1 more game than the guys team as they sit at 4-5 on the season. Most recently, the Devils squared off on the hardwood against Fruita Monument, where they fell hard, but before that game, they put up back-to-back wins. Their first game of the new year is against Delta. The VMS boys basketball team has not played many games this year, but they maintain a winning record of 3-2 on the season. They last played in 2023 against Clear Creek, where they took a win, and it was their second win over the Gold Diggers this season. Vail Mountain School plays their first game of the new year against Cap Rock Academy. Vail Christian boys basketball has had a rough season so far under new head coach Andrew Newman. The Saints are sitting at 2-4 on the year and have lost their last 2 games straight. In their most recent matchup, Vail Christian squared off against Meeker, where they fell 62-33 at home. There's still time for the Saints to turn it around though, however. Vail Christian girls basketball also has a new head coach. Savannah Webster's team is sitting at 1-3 on the season and have fallen in their last 3 games. They'll also need to start picking up the pace in the new year.
As we just mentioned, Vail Christian boys basketball has a brand new head coach at the helm. Here's our discussion with head coach Andrew Newman. So we're with the new head coach of Vail Christian basketball, Andrew Newman. And Coach, you got a new season in front of you. What's kind of the expectation there?
Well, it's really hard to say right now. We're a very green, very young team, but we're super excited. A lot of great kids, a lot of work ethic going on, a lot of effort going in. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and I was telling you this earlier when we were chatting just a minute ago, but you know, you guys may be a newer team, but it seems like the chemistry is already there. Do you feel like you guys already kind of have that camaraderie on the team?
Yeah, for sure. A couple of the seniors in particular are doing a great job leading us. So they're building that chemistry from the top down. And then the younger guys in each of those classes, there's a couple kids that are really leading their classes. So I'm really happy to see this early in the season, this kind of chemistry.
Okay, in what ways will those seniors come together? You mentioned you have 3, Jack Pryor, Will Newman. How do you think those guys are going to kind of come together and lead this team this season?
Well, they're going to have to really put in a lot of effort on the court, probably getting a lot of minutes out there. Hopefully everybody stays healthy, but it's more their leadership off the court that matters. They're doing a great job really leading these guys and building that chemistry, especially encouraging the younger guys. You know, when you're new to high school basketball or it's your first time on varsity, there's a lot you got to learn. There's a huge learning curve, and those guys are doing a great job encouraging the younger players.
And you may be new to the head coaching role, taking over the helm of this Vail Christian program, but you're not new to the team by any standard. You've been here 2 years, got the torch passed over you from Coach Coons. What was that moment like to be kind of handed the role of this program that's been successful in his 23 years here, to be that guy that he wanted to take over the helm?
Yeah, that was a huge honor. Really grateful for everything that he's done for this school and for this program. And like you said, 23 years, he's built a winning culture, a winning program, a great chemistry. We're going to be keeping a lot of things that he did and just try to build on the great foundation he's already created.
Okay, and you mentioned, you know, not a lot's going to change. That winning culture is hopefully going to stick around too with you at the helm. But what things may change under your leadership? We're
going to keep trying to maintain a pretty high tempo. You know, this valley is a valley that has a lot of great athletes. We've got a lot of great athletes on this team, so can work really hard to keep pushing the tempo and you know, really working to have a high character team that in everything we do, we're trying to reflect the values of this school.
Okay, and you mentioned you got a scrimmage with Battle Mountain coming up. Obviously, that's an exhibition game against, you know, another Valley team, so you probably want to do pretty well in that matchup, but what kind of makes that a good game from y'all, how you show up against Battle Mountain?
Well, it's going to be interesting because we're only going to have about 6 practices with this green group of guys before we hit that scrimmage, so we're still learning each other's names, let alone all the offenses, defenses, so a lot of it's just going to be going out there and playing good basketball. It is fun, though, to be playing inter-valley teams. A lot of these guys play together in the off season, so they all know each other, and so what's really fun is those friendships, knowing the coaches, knowing the guys, the friendships off the court, and then you get on the court, all of a sudden game's on, it's competition, and even though in a scrimmage, you know, you're not supposed to keep score, I can promise you every one of our guys, they're going to know the score in their own heads, so we'll have a good time.
And speaking about playing, you know, inter-valley teams, you guys play Vail Mountain School twice a year. That's the big rivalry in this valley for y'all. What's it going to be like, you think, just getting on the court as the head coach of this team and playing them this year for your first time at the helm?
Yeah, this year we're going to be playing them at their gym. Their gym is always packed. It's a tight gym. It'll be a full house, I'm sure. And like you said, it's is an in-valley competition, so this should be a really good time. This is going to be a tough game. They always play a tough game. They're a very well-coached team. They're very strategic in the way they play the game, so it's going to be a really tough game for sure.
How have you kind of grown to appreciate this rivalry between Vail Christian and Vail Mountain School in your 2 years prior to taking over this team?
Well, it's always one of the games we have circled on our calendar, and I'm sure they do as well. It's just a good time. I mean, off the court, you want to be able to say you won that game this year, you know. So they'll have a great program. They always have a great program. Hopefully we'll be strong as well, and it should be a really tight game.
Okay, and you mentioned Plateau Valley this season as being a big contender. Obviously, you may have a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth after last season, but what are you looking to get out of that matchup this year with them?
Well, we're going to learn a lot where we stand. They're third game of the season, so we have the home opener, and then we've got them on the 5th of December. And as you mentioned, they beat us twice in a row last year, 2 out of 3 games in a row. So that'll be a really tough team. They've got most of their starting lineup returning from that state team that went to state last year, and it'll be a really good way for us to find out, you know, where we stand compared to the rest of the conference, and where we stand even in terms of being a potential state contender.
Mm-hmm. And this may be the hardest question I ask you all day, but if you could just narrow it down, what do you think you're looking forward to the most in this new season?
Wow. I just honestly enjoy being on the court with these guys. I mean, it's an awesome group of guys. I've mentioned I grew up in a gym basically with my dad being a coach, and so the chance just to be in the gym with a great group of guys, obviously the competition, doing a little bit of mentoring along the way, and I hope we get a couple wins as well. That'd be great.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Anything you want to add?
No, just grateful for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Despite a relatively rocky football season for our collegiate teams here in the Centennial State, Air Force was lucky enough, or I guess good enough, to make it to a postseason game. They played in the Armed Forces Bowl against JMU, and we've got those highlights for you right now.
Air Force with the ball and looking to make moves. They hand it off to the fullback, Emmanuel Michelle, who finds a gap and is off to the races. Michelle will get caught from behind after taking it 54 yards. 3rd and goal now, Air Force looking to score. They give it to Michelle again, and he'll leap his way into the end zone for a Falcons 6 points. Air Force leads JMU early in the game. All tied up now at 7 apiece. John Lee Eldridge, the third, gets the toss, finds a hole, and he's got room to run. He'll take the ball deep inside Monarchs territory. Well, he'll be stopped at the 5-yard line. They'll go back to Michelle at the goal line on 2nd and goal, and he'll find his way into the end zone once again for another Falcons touchdown. Air Force will go on to take a 14-7 lead over James Madison. JMU on 3rd down looking to extend their drive, but they won't have the chance as Peyton Zodrick of Air Force blows up the play for a giant TFL. Falcons back on the ball. Zach Larrier has time and sees an open man downfield on 2nd and 6 to go. He'll let it rip, and Jared Rosnos comes away with it and strolls into the end zone for another Air Force touchdown. Air Force now 1st and goal. Larrier will keep it, and the offensive line will get a good push to make way for Larrier to get it into the end zone for another Air Force touchdown. Air Force will go up 28-14 on James Madison. JMU now back with the ball and looking to answer after that Larrier touchdown. Air Force shows blitz, and they'll power through for the big sack to make it 3rd down. Air Force will once again break through the line here and get to JMU quarterback McLeod for another big sack. Air Force picks up their 2nd win in a row in the Armed Forces Bowl and finishes the season 9-4.
So a good win there from Air Force to finish off the football season strong. Make sure to continue coming back to us for all the latest sports coverage here in the Valley and beyond. We'll see you next time, and Happy New Year.
Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning. It's January 4th, 2024. We're already well into January here, and we've got a great show for you today. We're going to be looking at a new business over in Eagle, Canella Coffee. So we're excited to speak with the folks over there. Kim and I are going to be in the kitchen, and there is a lot of changes happening here in the weather. Hour 2 of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Well, good morning. It is the first Thursday of 2024, and it's bringing some very good news as far as the weather goes. Getting up today, 21 degrees is going to be the temperature. We've got some snow falling with a high today of 36 degrees. So we're going to see that snow kind of start up mid-morning and continue throughout the day as we look at Vail by the hour. That warmer temperature is going to happen probably around that 3 p.m. time, but that snow is going to be falling. So something that we've very much look forward to. The I-70 corridor, partly cloudy there in Denver. They've got a low chance of precipitation, 30% with 34 degrees. Vail, 36 degrees. Avon, 35 degrees, and 33 degrees over there in Eagle with some snow falling throughout the day. Tonight, 14 degrees is going to be the low. Again, 60% chance of precipitation, so we're going to see some additional snowfall throughout that evening. Looking at the 5-day, this is something that's very welcoming. Tomorrow, snow showers continue. Saturday, continue to snow. So we've got a good percentage of precipitation moving through the weekend. Mild temperatures in the mid-20s, but look at those lows going way down. Going to add to the snowfall, some snow blowing up there on the mountain. So we're excited to see a little bit of change in the weather right now and some of that snow falling down. It's going to add to Beaver Creek. They haven't seen any snow in the last 48 hours, so the season total there is 80 inches with a base depth of 35 inches. Lift hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they've got 26 lifts spinning, 121 trails open, 54% of the terrain. There in Beaver Creek, little same thing over there in Vail. They haven't seen anything in the last 24 hours, but that's about to change. 101 inch total for the season. 37-inch base, which is great for Vail. That means 27 lifts are spinning, 239 trails. That's 85% of the terrain over in Vail. Great skiing out there.
85% of the terrain.
Yeah?
Not too bad considering just a week ago we were almost at only half.
I know, and everybody's going, oh, we need snow. So whatever superstitions you've been sticking with, it's worked. We've got snow on the way.
I've been doing a little bit of a dance.
Yeah, don't do that.
What, you don't like
Don't
my
do
dance
that.
moves, Kevin?
That's fine. If it works, it works. We'll take it. We'll take it.
So true. Well, I know we've got some fun gear here on the couch with us.
Fun gear from our partners over at Eyepieces. Eyepieces of Vail, again, they've got so many locations around the valley. And it's not just the amount of locations, it's the knowledge of the staff in there. It's not just for eyewear, but also to protect your head.
All of it, everything that you need, and it's not just the goggles and all of that. But we've got this really fun, fancy new helmet called by Cask.
By Cask.
Do you know much about the helmet?
I do. It's got some carbon fiber built into it. It's got the audio, so you got Bluetooth technology built into that helmet, and a photochromatic lens, which built into the helmet, which you don't have to carry multiple lenses. It changes, it senses the light changes, and so the lens itself will change depending on the light condition.
And so it's a 3-in-1, you
Kind
know?
of a
You can make
3-in-1.
phone calls, you can do whatever you need to.
Yeah.
And if you don't like to juggle a lot of things when you're out on the slopes, this is your
That
this
is
your jam.
the helmet to go with. And it comes in different sizes. And again, the experts over at Eyepieces can get you in there and help to fit you to that helmet that's going to be specific to your needs.
Yeah, it's a pretty great helmet. I'd try it on, but I don't want to mess up my hair.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, we've got a lot coming up on the show, so it's going to be a good one on this second hour on this Thursday morning edition. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Opening in time for the new ski season, Max's Bar here at TV8. So grab a seat as friends and neighbors gather to discuss and debate the topics of the day. From best restaurants, best hockey seats, school sports, and just plain old Vail Valley talk. So join us here at Max's Bar this winter.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. And Think Big kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Dog Tales is America's premier dog lovers magazine show. This series is all about dogs and the people who love them. Featuring dogs of all sizes, shapes, and breeds, keeping you up to date with all the latest news from the dog world. Sit back and enjoy a fun program for the whole family. Check your local listings and tune in to Dog Tales. TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. One of the things that we love to do on this show is to showcase new opportunities that are out there in the community with new business owners, new products, and things that are going on. And I am so proud to be sitting on the couch here with the group from Canela Coffee. Now, it is a new business in Eagle. You opened in November, correct?
We did, yes.
Very exciting. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the people to the viewers that are watching so they get to know you?
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for inviting us. My name, which everybody knows me as a Chef G, Chef Gonzalez. I'm the daughter of this fabulous couple here,
Yeah.
Rosie Gonzalez and Rocky.
So I'm going to tell you what, Rosie and Rocky and I all worked together here in the Valley many years ago. So we go way back.
I've heard.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about your new venture together, Canela Coffee. So tell me about Canela Coffee. How did you come up with it?
So, you know, as you may know, my parents, they've been in hospitality for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And after, school, I started following their steps. So I went to culinary school, I went to Le Cordon Bleu. And, I've been in the restaurants, and we've been talking about like putting something at some point in our life. We always talk about it, and we were saying, you know what? I think it's time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
My dad, he's always been in the back of the house, me as well, and my mom front of the house.
Right.
So it's like, okay, it's time to do it. We're going to put a coffee shop with a little bit of pastries and the little, culinary flair of my dad.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, that's really nice. So you followed your father's footsteps, went to culinary school. What is your specialty? What's your passion when it comes to culinary and cooking?
Oh my gosh, food is amazing. Like, there's no certain thing that I love. I think overall it's a journey. It's magic. So what we offer at Canela, we have different things. We offer our traditional café de olla. It's just a little bit of something of Latin America, We use cinnamon, which is canela in Mexico, in our coffee. So we're offering that. We're offering certain things as not the regular chocolate chip. We use chocolate abuelita, which is one of the ingredients that we use in Mexico. So I use it in my baking. So we try to make different things,
Yeah. And you
Different from
probably, so
others.
you got the culinary from Rocky and probably all the love and passion from Rosie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. yes.
Well, it's so nice. I mean, we always love to see new businesses open, but when it's family, there's so much more that goes into it. Where exactly are you located in Eagle?
We are on Broadway, Broadway Street, next to, can I
Wells
say
Fargo.
that? Wells Fargo Bank?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Wells Fargo Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. It's a little coffee shop made with a lot of love and effort. And it's just a little cozy spot for people, to feel welcome, stay there, do homework, or have gatherings.
What are your hours that you're open?
We're open 9 to 5.
Okay. 9 to 5, so you can definitely get in there and get some homework done, start the day off
Correct.
with a little Canela coffee, a little
Yes.
cinnamon.
Yes.
And then what kind of pastries? What are the different types of pastries?
Well, we have a variation of from banana loaves, cranberry loaves, all kind of loaves. Our best seller is carrot cake and the chocolate abuelita chip cookie, panna cottas, chocolate cakes, all sort of
Tropical cake.
cookies. Yes, all sort of
I'm going to have to come. Carrot cake is my
Macaroons.
favorite.
Yeah. please come.
All right.
Visit
Now,
us.
where do you source your coffee? Where does that come from?
Our coffee comes from Glenwood Springs.
Okay.
It's in a way kind of local. We wanted to have a coffee from Colorado. It's called Bonfire.
Okay.
Pretty tasty. We love the flavor. We just wanted to, bring product from other parts of Colorado, and please come and taste it. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, it's new and it's open now in Eagle, right there on Broadway by Wells Fargo Bank. So if you're over in Eagle, you live in Eagle, what a wonderful way to start your day, or to just go in and have a snack in the afternoon, catch up, do some work.
Absolutely.
If you work from home, what a great place to go.
Yes, please visit us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, don't forget, Canela Coffee over there in Eagle, off Broadway, next to Wells Fargo. You're going to have this family's love and passion put into everything you eat and drink. So get in there and see them.
Thank you so much. Please visit us.
We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Hi, I'm Ben Belgrad, and I'm the owner of Drinking Vessels here at Bat Country Studios in Minturn. And I've been in the Valley for 7 years. I moved to the Valley because a friend helped me to get my vision off the ground, building my glass studio here, and being so close to snowboarding. So here at the studio, we're acting as a broker for 50 to 100 artists from around the country. We also offer glassblowing classes, and we bring many artists from around the country here to be able to work and create art collaboratively and be so close to skiing and all the activities we have here in the Valley. Here at Drinking Vessels, we specialize in handmade glass drinkware from artists around the country and around the world. Some of these are produced as more of an item you could get in sets and kind of get different color options as time goes on. And some of these are completely one of a kind and really high-end art that's unlike anything people have seen before. While I'm an artist myself here at the studio, I'm representing between 50 and 100 other artists from around the country. And most of these artists are able to spend most of their time working on their art while we help handle their marketing and their sales and the distribution and representation, allowing them more time to focus on their art. That's really my privilege in running this business, is creating that support and providing that platform for this big group of artists that are part of a movement that's very important to me.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, real homeowners tackle really big renos.
Welcome to the ugliest house in the neighborhood.
It's a wild ride from before to after.
If we go to the tile store one more time, only one of us is coming out alive.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do all that.
Between the budget and the timeline, it's makeover madness.
Good morning, Vail.
Kimberly here, just taking over for Kevin. As you can see, we've got a bunch happening with the weather today. Those snow showers are already coming down. So let's take a look at what's happening. 8 a.m., 21 degrees and cloudy, but what our weather report has not updated is that we are seeing the snow falling outside. If you just peek out that window there, 30 degrees, and those snow showers will continue throughout the day. So 30 degrees at noon, and it starts to get progressively colder throughout the afternoon. 4 o'clock, just 1 degree colder at 29 degrees. 8 p.m., 24 degrees, and those snow showers all day long. As we look into the I-70 corridor, this is where Denver finally matches the Vail Valley in the temperatures. Denver has a 30% chance of snow showers with 34 degrees for the high, a little bit of sunshine, but mostly cloud coverage. And then moving into the Valley, Vail, 50% chance, but as we can see outside, those showers are starting to sprinkle us with some snow. 36 for the high. Avon is dropping down to 35 degrees. And then, as always, Eagle, our little bit chillier cousin down the valley, 33 degrees and a 30% chance of snow there in Eagle. Looking at tonight, those snow showers should continue throughout the entire day. 60% chance as we move into the afternoon. The low of 14 degrees. Snow showers, sunset at 4:55 p.m. So that's 1 minute longer of sunshine compared to yesterday. Winds are light and variable because we have that snowstorm moving into the 5-day forecast. Friday, 70% chance of snow showers, which means we're probably going to get them all day long. 27 degrees for the high, 12 degrees for the low. Saturday, 50% chance we'll have snow showers in the morning, but that sun will attempt to grace us with its presence at 24 degrees for the high, 4 degrees, single digits for the low. Sunday, just about the same, a little bit warmer in the afternoon, snow showers, 6 degrees. And then cloudy on Monday, 1 degree for the low and 21 for the high. And then afternoon snow on Tuesday. So we're seeing all those snow showers that we've been hoping and waiting and anticipating for. And Kevin, coming at you with the snow report on the mountain.
You know, this is very exciting news to finally see the snow start to move in, and it kind of takes us into what's happening out there on the mountains, because not a lot of snow has been reported, zero as a matter of fact, in the last 48 hours. But over in Beaver Creek, they've got an 80-inch base for the season. We're going to build upon that with this storm that's rolling in. 35% of the terrain is open over there, or 53. So we're going to see a lot more terrain open up there in Beaver Creek. And again, most of the terrain that you want right up there in Centennial that everybody's using. Great conditions out there right now. It's been cold enough to blow snow, so the crew out there has been doing a great job. Beaver Creek has 26 lifts, turning 121 trails, 54% of the terrain. So a lot of terrain out there to ski on Beaver Creek, and it's all that stuff right off Centennial, really in good shape. The crew has done a nice job keeping everything groomed so everyone can get out there and enjoy. Over in Vail, similar story. We're going to change this percentage as far as how many inches we've seen in the last 48 hours with that storm coming in. 101-inch season total. So they've gotten significant snowfall over there. That snowmaking capability in Vail really kind of makes things happen over there, and that crew is up there all night long making sure that things are going on. 37-inch base, which is great for this time of year, especially with these warm temperatures. 27 lifts turning, 239 trails, and 85% of the terrain there in Vail to get out there and enjoy. So a lot out there to enjoy, and even more coming up as we get this storm moving through and some cooler temperatures to increase that snowmaking capabilities on the mountain. So thank you to those crews out there doing all that hard work so we can get out there and play. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Hi friends, welcome to Vail Vibes. Avisha Scarborough here. Now, whether you're a shredder or you're a cruiser, it's not about how fast you get down the mountain. It's about what you do afterwards to celebrate. I got a chance to hit the town and check out what Vail has to offer when it comes to our beloved tradition of après-ski. Take a look. It's arguably as much a part of the ski experience as skiing itself. That special time right after the ski lift stops running until right about dinner time.
We all call it après, and really it's an opportunity to celebrate with each other. So, after you've had a day on the mountain, everyone comes together, cocktails, live music, food. Really, it's all about the vibe.
Oh, we know about the vibe. And so does the Four Seasons Remedy Bar.
What we do here at the Remedy very well is we take the classic cocktails and we create them to perfection.
Here, the bartender Maggie is making a couple of her most popular classics.
We, in my opinion, make one of the best old fashions in the village. Our secret is that we use a demerara syrup, which is kind of it's an unfiltered turbinado sugar, so it's kind of like has a more rich flavor as opposed to simple syrup, which kind of waters down the cocktail. People love old fashions in the winter because the whiskey really just warms you up and it makes you feel like nice and buzzed and ready to have a good time in the après season. And then espresso martinis with that caffeine, it gives you a buzz, but it also gives you energy. So if you had a long day of skiing or snowboarding, it'll kind of re-energize you.
And as far as food goes?
The tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich, which is my #1 go-to during season, that's a very popular menu item. The Remedy Burger is also a go-to, and this season we're actually going to be rolling out several new menu items. The veal schnitzel is really at the top of my list right now.
And the Four Seasons has what many people call the world's most decadent hot chocolate.
It's our world famous au chocolat.
With a giant house-made marshmallow and a chocolate twill, the hot chocolate is as satisfying to watch as it is to drink. Jonathan says what makes the Four Seasons experience so special is all the attention to detail.
What we really focus on are the little touches. So the things that you're not necessarily gonna notice, but then after you depart, you're probably gonna remember them, right?
Right. It's all been pretty hard to forget. So come for the skiing and stay for the skiing. But afterwards, treat yourself to some delicious après goodness. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology, to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tv8vail.com y nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Hello everyone, I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. How many personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the Immersion Theater.
Well, welcome back. We are in the kitchen.
We are in the kitchen.
Kevin, I love spending time in the kitchen with you.
It's so much fun.
You are a wealth of knowledge in the kitchen. And I know you like to cook as well, and so it's always fun to get in here and bounce ideas off each other and see how we each do things.
Yeah, I love to cook. In the last segment we did with Canela Coffee, talk about the passion with Rocky and his daughter in the kitchen and how they follow footsteps, and it's so much fun to cook. I love to cook with my kids and with friends, with you.
With the TV8 family,
with the
as
TV8
we like to call it.
So what are we gonna make today?
So it's holidays are over. We've probably been so sick of all the sweet things and all of the different things to indulge in. But today we are going to make a twice baked stuffed potato.
Wow, say that.
Twice baked stuffed potato. Hard to say, right?
Nice.
But,
it's great this time of year. That's something nice and hearty and hot and.
And you know, and during the week, it's super easy to prep ahead of time and just, you know, feel warm and comfortable and cozy. I don't know, those are the things that I look for in the month of January.
Yeah, nice and comfortable and cozy. So what are we going to put in this dish, Kim?
So this dish only includes about 5 ingredients, but you can really make it as complicated or as complex as you'd like.
Okay.
But you would start with a potato. We have russet potatoes here today, but you can do sweet potatoes or really whatever you like to, whatever your preference is. Do you have a preference?
No, I think these are great because they've got good size to them. So you can, if you're looking to stuff them, you've got a lot of room in there to put some of your goodies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, typical twice baked potatoes, usually you'll bake it and then you'll scoop it out and you'll turn it into mashed potatoes and restuff them. We're not going to do that today. This is going to be a very quick and easy weeknight meal, or if you're hosting, you know, for football games, because we have a few coming up. You know, this is a great way to just make a big batch very quickly for all of your friends and family that you might be hosting, or if you're just watching it by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
perfect.
So we'll get started. So there are a couple of ways to heat up your potatoes. So you can do it, if you want to do it the long way, and because it's a twice baked potato, you can pop it into the oven for an hour at 375. And what you would typically do is coat the potato in olive oil and some salt just to give it a little extra flavor.
Okay.
Or if you're pressed on time, you can throw it in the microwave for 15 minutes.
Okay, which is what we did.
It is
so
what we did.
I see some fork marks in here.
Yep.
So we've kind of put some fork marks in it so that microwave, that heat can get in there and actually bake it where we need to go. We've got one more here in the microwave. Let me grab that one out.
And so this recipe calls for about four servings initially, but really, you know, you don't have to measure things out. You just kind of make sure that it's, you know, proportionate and what you feel is right. So we've got our potatoes already baked. What we're going to do from there is then we've got shredded chicken. We're doing a barbecue chicken stuffing.
Nice.
So very easy. I grabbed a rotisserie chicken, shredded it up last night.
So you don't have to go through the baking of the chicken, which can take like an hour or longer depending on the size of the chicken. You've got everything ready to go.
Everything is ready to go.
Okay.
You can make this a very long and complex process, or you can just do the potatoes in the microwave, grab your rotisserie chicken, you've got it all shredded up, which we've got it here. So we're gonna go ahead and spin, don't wanna cut myself with this knife here. We're gonna go ahead and spin this out. So it's been, it's cooled down, and you just kind of get that all shredded in this medium-sized bowl. And then we're doing barbecue sauce. Do you like barbecue?
I love, and I love this brand too, Stubbs Barbecue.
I do too. And you know what I love about it is they have a sugar-free brand, which we did not get this time around because I figured, you know, it's snowing outside. Let's splurge. We're all going to be out on the mountain to burn off those extra calories anyways. But they do have a sugar-free brand, which I love as well. So, and lots of different flavors. So you'll take about a half a cup of the barbecue sauce. Or the great thing about cooking when you're not baking is you can put as much or as little of the ingredient into it as you want.
So here's our half cup.
I've got the half
we are
cup.
just going to do it this way.
Kevin, what I'm learning about Kevin in the kitchen is he does not use measurements. No. But for those of you that do, I would use about a half a cup for a shredded rotisserie chicken. You know, and then you kind of mix it around and see if that's what you feel good about. And we can always add more. And, you know, I personally think we're going to need to add some more.
You think so? Okay.
I think so.
You know how easy that is.
Yep.
It's just this easy.
It's just that easy.
You see, you need a little more.
A little bit more, you know, why not? And one of the things that makes this special, and we've talked about this the last time that you and I cooked a savory dish in the kitchen together, is garlic, fresh garlic. This is always a game changer. So I've got about 2 cloves of garlic in here as well, and I'm just going to add it into my shredded chicken. I guess who doesn't like a little extra layer of flavoring?
I know.
You know, it's just quite delicious.
So I see a jalapeno.
Yep, we've got a jalapeno.
Onion. What are we doing with those?
So these are going to be our fun toppings.
Okay.
For our baked potato. So we've got the red onion because, you know, have you ever had a barbecue chicken pizza where you throw a little bit of the red onion on top? It gives a nice little little bite and a crisp there. And then the jalapenos, I like a little bit of spice on everything that I do. So
You're spicy.
it goes with the hair color, with the red hair. And then we've got a cheddar cheese as well. So,
And we're going to grate the cheese.
We're going to grate the cheese. We're going to dice up the jalapeno, and we're going to slice the onion.
Okay, well, I'll get started on that.
Okay.
One of the things I like to do, if you're cutting on a cutting board, sometimes on a countertop it can be move around. And you want to be safe, because if you've got a sharp knife and you're cutting, you don't want it to move around. I'll get a paper towel and just damp. And you put it down under your cutting board, and it stabilizes.
I love
so
that
it doesn't
kitchen hack.
scoot around.
That's great.
You got to be careful in the kitchen.
You really do. So, Kevin, I have a question. Talk to me about your knife skills with cutting the onion.
Well, knife
What's the
skills,
trick?
cutting onion. Well, first of all, you want to use a sharp knife. Every time you cut, you want a sharp knife. A dull tool is more dangerous than a sharp tool. And that is because if it's sharp, you let the tool do its thing. If it's dull, you're having to push down, and that can create something to slide or something to roll and turn. So whenever you do cut, you want to be safe. And on this onion, for example, taking off the end, taking off the outer skin so that you have a flat surface to cut down on. And if you cut down on the stem, and again, tip down as far as the knife blade goes, and just follow through, and it'll give you two nice halves. Again, nice flat surfaces that you can cut from. So once you lay those down, again, you go down with your blade.
Looking great. And that's one of the tricks. When you cut it along the way of the root, it actually, and also you were mentioning from a onions and a crying perspective, if you cut it along the way of the root and then you cut it with a sharp knife, it eliminates some of those odors.
Right, yeah, as you have a sharp knife and you don't press, so you don't get a lot of the liquid that comes out that will make you tear up. And then if you're cutting sideways, again, if you have your fingers on there, the likelihood of cutting your fingers is very great. So you just use the palm of your hand and you can cut through this way.
Just like that.
All the way. And then it's straight down from there. So again, keep your tip down of the knife and just follow through like this.
And now this is just going to be a topping, so we can really dice up or have as little as we need for this. And I feel like, for me, about a half of a medium-sized red onion is always good for toppings here. Now, Kevin, I have a question for you. Have you heard of the trick, wetting a paper towel and putting it next to the onion while you're cutting it to eliminate the tears?
Oh, yeah, that does not work.
I don't know. I think I've tried it once or twice, and I thought it did work.
You did? Okay. We'll go with that then.
We'll go with it, whatever floats your boat, right? So Kevin is dicing up the onion here, and then I'm going to finish stirring in this delicious barbecue sauce into our chicken. While he's doing that, we've got the onion nice and diced, and then we're going to dice up some jalapeno, and then I'll also shred a little bit of cheddar cheese to put on top of our stuffed potatoes. So looking good here. Basically, everything is already prepared. We don't need to cook anything. We've already cooked our potatoes in the microwave. What we're going to do is just put everything together and then pop it into the oven until the cheese is melted. So chicken is ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and shred some of the cheese here. So I've got a cheese grater. You know, I prefer to do block cheese instead of the already shredded, but if you, in the essence of time, want to use the already shredded, you can do that as well. I think they just add a little bit of extra stuff to it.
Yeah. One thing too, when I grate cheese, one thing I like to do is keep it in the refrigerator a little bit. It firms it up so it grates a little bit.
It does.
A little bit easier.
So we're probably going to shred about a half a block here because we've got 4 potatoes. I like a good cheesy potato. But again, if you wanted to make this healthier, you could do a sweet potato, sugar-free barbecue sauce, and not as much cheese.
We don't want to make it healthy.
No, we don't. This is comfort food at its finest. That's what we
Still holidays.
That's what we apparently like to do here. So Kevin, I have a question. What's your secret with cutting a jalapeno and avoiding the spice?
Well, I love the spice of a jalapeno. The one thing you want to do
Not touch your eyes after
before
you
and
cut.
after is wash your hands very, very well.
Absolutely. And we've also washed the jalapeno as well with just rinsing off with some water and some vegetable wash as well.
Yep. So basically after I half it and take out the seeds, you just go kind of lengthwise. And again, knife skills, keep the tip down on the knife, keep the tips of your fingers out of the way and tucked in. and that kind of gives you the strips then that you can dice on.
And watching you cut, I love you're keeping the blade of the knife against your top knuckle of your finger, so it's avoiding cutting off your fingertips.
Right.
And that is the secret to avoiding kitchen accidents.
Yeah, you don't need the knife to come up. Like a lot of people start hacking down on it, but I mean, when you're doing these jalapenos, maybe a ½ inch off the board, and then you tuck your fingers in.
Looking
And
great.
again, just letting the knife do its work, because this is a nice sharp knife, Kim. Good job on the knife.
I try. I'm learning. My dad taught me how to keep my knives sharp, so I make sure that I do that when I am cooking in the kitchen. So it looks like we've got all of our toppings prepared. I've just shredded a bunch of cheese, and we did a lot of it there, so it's going to be a good one, nice and cheesy.
Good cheese, a little cheesy.
We've got all the cheese. So the next trick is with the potatoes. So we are just going to take a paring knife, which we've got right here, and we're going to take this paring knife, and this is the easy part. You're just going to slice it just along the top here. So they're already cooked. We've got a nice slice there, and you don't want to go all the way through because you don't want to cut a hole in the bottom.
Right.
And then you're just going to push it open. So if it's like super fresh and hot, you're just going to go like that, push it open a little bit. You mash out the inside. You can take the spoon if you need to really get in there. Yeah, we just kind of pop it open.
Okay.
Just like that, and then we're gonna just stuff it with the chicken, and then we're gonna stuff it with, and then top it with the jalapeno and the red onion, and pop it back into the oven for about 15 minutes. Yep, just like that. That's perfect. Right. You're better at the pushing than I am.
The squeezing of the potato.
Squeezing. So we'll go ahead and start spooning some of that in here. And I like to add a little extra salt and pepper into the inside of my potato, because who doesn't love a little bit more flavor, right?
I'll slice and squeeze.
You slice and squeeze.
You season it up.
I'll season it up. I know that we put garlic, freshly cut garlic, into the chicken mixture, but I like to add a little bit of extra.
Never too much garlic.
Never too much garlic. It's true. Are you Italian?
Italiano.
I feel like Italians use a lot of garlic in everything they do. All right, there we go. So we've got it. That first one, I'm just going to go ahead and spoon some of this chicken mixture into that. And you can really go as much or as little as you want to. We're going to just keep spooning it in there. We've got plenty of chicken. So
a lot of chicken there.
A lot of chicken here in it. So you just kind of spoon it, stuff it, and then we'll top a little bit with the shredded cheese.
Okay.
Just like that. We'll add a little of the red onion, a little of the jalapeno. That's looking great. Yeah, looks perfect. A little jalapeno,
Just
no
a little
pressure.
jalapeno.
No pressure, Kevin. Don't put too much on there.
Whoa, look at that.
That's the first one, and then once we finish stuffing all of these, we'll pop them in the oven, let the cheese melt, let all the flavors meld together, and we are good to go after that. And so it's an easy, fun weeknight meal, and you can almost do a stuffed potato bar if you wanted to. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. You can have the toppings separate so people can just choose what they want on.
That's exactly right.
Love that idea.
I can't wait to see what this looks like when we're done with it in the oven, but I am already hungry. Forget breakfast. I'm skipping that one.
This is breakfast.
We're
right
going
here.
straight in.
Lunch.
Straight in for the protein and the carbs to get ready for that snow that is falling out there so we can hit the slopes. Lots happening, so we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. There is a wonderful publication here in the Valley called Covered Bridge. They do a great job covering local events, arts, and entertainment. And this month, they've got a feature in there. Max Rowe is an artist, and his passion for skiing shows in all the artwork that he does. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. My name is Kim Fuller, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge Magazine.
And I'm Bobby LaRue, the Director of Partnerships over at Covered Bridge Magazine. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Max Rowe. Max Rowe is actually a local artist that you're going to learn all about today, and he did the most recent cover of Covered Bridge Magazine. Welcome, Max.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Kim. It's great to meet you guys.
So great to have you. So I will, it's not a spoiler or anything because the magazine is out and people can grab it, but here we are with the newest edition of Covered Bridge. So this art piece is absolutely phenomenal. It's called Red Shred, and how fun to put a piece of art on our cover. It's the first time we've done that with Covered Bridge. So Max, tell us a little bit about this piece and also the experience of getting this on the cover and just the article, interview, and all of that. How'd that go for you?
It's been awesome partnering with you guys. This piece in particular, I love that we ended up going with this. I think it really pops, and this actually, funnily enough, this piece kind of started off a whole new run of work that I did that was really kind of loose with the snow, and the snowboarder on the front, Taylor Godber, she's a huge inspiration. I mean, her riding is amazing, and the photographer, Guy Fatal. So I loved just getting the inspiration from those guys, and in talking a lot about this article and this issue is about abundance. And for me, like with skiing and snowboarding, first and foremost, like abundance is all about POW. So I love to paint pictures of powder, and so this was really good, emblematic of that. And then, and also, yeah, just I love to receive the inspiration. We live in this really awesome age where we have so much access to really cool inspiration from all over the world, and I feel really grateful to get to take inspiration from other people and turn it into something special and new, and then go out and inspire more people with that. More people to ski, more people to care about skiing, more people to care about art, and everything in the magazine. So there's a lot of other really cool stuff in here too.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, the article really does get into how you get your mindset around painting. And, we mentioned a little bit in there about the flow state. Can you speak to that? I mean, I think of snowboarding, number one, as like my most flow state, right? And I would imagine you're in a similar mindset when the brush strokes are just coming together, right?
Yeah, it's one thing that I love about like painting skiers and snowboarders is that, like you said, when you're out skiing and snowboarding, you can really get in that flow state. And so painting that subject matter also helps me get into that flow state when I'm painting. And I really feel like that's when I do my best work, is when I kind of get into the flow. Because a lot of my work is like really splattery and really action oriented. So kind of getting in the zone with it is really important for me, because you have to really feel it. The flow state is kind of an elusive thing, and not everybody knows how to describe it, but if you've experienced it, you know exactly what that is. So I really love to try to recreate that feeling and give that feeling, give that inspiration to my audience.
No, I really enjoy that, and you kind of nailed it with the flow state. Like once you've experienced it, you know what it is, right? But you can't always get there on a drop of a dime.
Yeah.
And it does take sometimes that process of focusing on maybe your snowboarding to get into your mental mindset for painting. You brought up something unique about getting inspiration from others. I looked at this cover, and I don't have many photos of me shredding POW in the backcountry, but if I did, I would be like, wow, I'd love that on my wall. Is that something the audience could take advantage of if they have a really,
Absolutely, yeah. If you have a sick photo of you sending it, hit me up, send it to me. I'm always looking for new inspiration, and
Cool.
I love to meet the people that I get to paint. That's a real treasure, honestly, to get to share that with other people. But yeah.
Max, what is your art background, and how has that evolved?
Sure. I've been painting for a really long time. It's something I grew up doing at home. I went to the University of Colorado and studied studio art there. And so I've always it's always been like a constant in my life. It's something that I really love because I know I'll be able to always do it. So it's like a lifelong practice, which I love about that. Yeah. What was the question?
Well,
sorry, you can cut that part.
So something, a quote that we have from you in this article, Max Rowe, Finding Flow Through Art and Skiing by Caitlin Emig. That's the fun thing about art, is what you said. As I continue to grow and learn more about the world and myself, my art changes as well. It's something that always keeps me invested in doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So how has it evolved for you?
So I've always just really been gravitated to paint subjects of things that I'm interested in. So for a long time, I painted just figures. I was really into figure drawing and figure painting, and that kind of evolved into, I did a lot of yoga paintings for a while, which was really cool. Bobby, I know, is a yoga teacher. So, and then I've kind of moved away from yoga and gotten more into action sports. And I've grown up skiing. I'm really lucky and blessed that way I have a lifelong ski practice as well. So it's something that as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm not skiing 100 days a year anymore, but I did do that for a long time. But this is kind of a new way for me to be part of the ski culture and the ski environment. And it's fun to get to give back to the community and the ski culture in a new way. So I'm really excited about that. And then, just continuing forward, how my subject matter will continue to evolve and change. Like I said, I'm always interested in painting what I like to do. So I just learned how to surf last week. I was in Costa Rica, which is so cool. Got to surf a bunch of waves down there, and so now I'm really excited to paint some surfers. And it's very similar to snowboarding, but kind of want to inject some more tropical vibes, some new color schemes, that type of thing. So.
Yeah, I love that. I could see surfing definitely fitting your style of work.
Yeah.
The spray and everything that you do as far as the detail goes. That being said, too, yes, someone can commission a piece from you, but they can also go to a few galleries, if I'm not mistaken, and find your work and purchase something right off the wall there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So right now I'm showing work at the Royal Street Fine Art Gallery. It's in Aspen. So I recommend anybody that's interested in seeing it in person, and it is awesome to see in person, go there, check it out. All of my original paintings are also UV reactive, which means they glow under a black light.
Wow.
So it's really hard to photograph, and it is also a thing that I love for it to be like this really cool first impression. You see it, you don't see that on paper, but then you get to see it in person and have this like deep reaction. It's really cool to see people get so excited. This is like 2 paintings in one. So I definitely wish everybody that has an interest to go check them out in person there. And you can also see everything on my website. It's maxflowart.com, as well as my Instagram, which is @maxflowart.
So great. Now I have this idea that we need to do a pop-up with you.
Oh yeah,
right?
I would love to.
We could bring
Yeah.
people together and have a bunch of your paintings there and
Let's
have the
have a
magazines
party.
there. Okay, sounds good. Stay tuned for details on the party with Max Rowe and Covered Bridge. But yeah, this is just such an honor to have on the cover of Covered Bridge, our 5th issue, the abundance issue. Thanks for tapping into that theme in so many ways. And it truly is an honor to meet you, Max. And you're very talented, and it's great to have you in the Valley.
Well, thanks so much. I'm
Yeah.
I'm super honored to get to participate, and thank you guys very much.
Yeah, awesome.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you everyone for watching Covered Bridge on TV8. Be sure to pick up the newest issue with Max's art on the cover, the Abundance issue, and thanks for tuning in.
Good morning, Vail.
Spooky and Scott Show, we are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
Good morning, Vail.
You know, it's been a fun morning, Kevin.
It's been a fun morning.
We've done all kinds of things. We've talked about eyepieces of Vail and their latest cask helmet. Plus, you had a conversation.
Yeah, we talked about coffee, the new coffee store there in Eel. You got to get over there and check it out.
It sounds delicious, and they locally source their coffee. Which
Yeah, it comes from Glenwood Springs, and it's a family-run business, which is a lot of fun to see.
And spending time in the family or with your family in the kitchen is always a blast, especially in the kitchen with you, Kevin. And these potatoes that we made look and smell delicious. You can smell the layering of the onion and the jalapeno and the cheese and all of the deliciousness.
I'm going to try a bite.
Are you getting in there?
I'm getting in there.
Okay, he's just going right in.
Right in.
Look at the cheese. It is melted.
Oh, so good.
It's nice and browned on the top. If you
Ooh,
wanted to
hot.
add a little bit, we did just pull it right out of the oven. And if you wanted to add a little bit more barbecue sauce for topping and drizzling, you just kind of cut it, slice it all in there. I think I'm going to try some as well.
Try some too. I like how you match like what sauce we're doing with your clothing. So
I
if you
do.
get any on you, it just blends right in.
It really does. And you know, I'm known to have things tossed on me here in the kitchen at TV8. But
So one thing we did is once we had the potatoes in and we baked them, we hit it with the broiler for the last minute or so, and that really browned up the top and made that cheese melt even more. And
it really
crisp
did.
up.
Wow, it looks delicious. I'm going to
It's
do
very
a little dip into the sauce and.
Okay. Very good. So easy, hearty. You can change it around. We talked about doing a potato bar where different people, like you can have different toppings out and do that. But thank you so much for tuning in today and joining us on Good Morning Vail. A lot of great things. Same time, same place tomorrow. We'll be back more. Enjoy that new snowfall that's coming down outside.
See you tomorrow.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in
Oh,
store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy